Well, hello and welcome to the Informed Traveler Podcast, a weekly travel podcast where our goal is to help you become a more informed traveler. And I'm your host, Randy Sharman. Travel expert Onanta Forbes has been doing what she loves best for the past few weeks, and that is traveling. I do know that she began her journey in Barcelona, but I've since lost track, so we'll catch up with her in a few seconds to see what adventures she's been up to. Plus, we'll start the new year off chatting with one of our regular guests, Dani Musse from Booking.com, who will run down their travel trends for 2026 on what kind of experiences travelers are looking for this year. But first, let's kick things off chatting with travel expert Onanta Forbes, who joins us each week to discuss some of the travel news and travel trends. You can follow her adventures on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Onanta Forbes. OnantaForbes.com is her website. Hello, Onanta. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Randy.
The last time I spoke with you, you were starting your winter adventure and you were in Barcelona. Obviously, you've moved on from there. So give us an update on what you've seen, what you've done, and some of the adventures.
So I am sailing on Regent Seven Seas Voyager, and I'm pretty lucky to be sailing from Barcelona. We touched base in Cadiz, and now we're cruising down the west coast of Africa. So just to tell you about the cruise ship, it's a luxury all-suite cruise ship with around 350 suites, and they all feature private balconies, wonderful bathrooms, and personalized butler service, which we have, and also many other suites have it. And I can tell you, the food's really good here. There's got multiple restaurants, everything from casual poolside meals to French and Italian cuisine. And there's great entertainment on board with live music. There's theater shows. There's a casino. I lost my $10, so I don't know if I'm going back, but casino's here. There's a great spa, a fitness center. There's a jogging track and nice shops, as well as a really high crew to guest ratio. So one of my favorite crew members is Wade, and he is the tech guy on board, and he helps us all with all our tech questions because we all need to be linked in, right?
Yes, we do, no matter where we are in the world. We get kind of nervous when we can't connect.
I know, that's it. Exactly. So after Barcelona, we did have a sea day, which was a good time to just settle into the ship life. We, unpacked, we wandered around, checked out where could be a favorite lounge or coffee spot. And then what was kind of neat about it, and it's throughout the whole cruise, there's different talks by guest speakers here. So you don't have to always be in port, but it's a nice opportunity to enjoy life on the cruise ship, right? And so I can say that Cadiz being our first port, it was a rainy day. So I would definitely recommend at this time of the year to pack a raincoat or a slicker. Umbrellas are available on board, but Cadiz is beautiful. It was easy walking, lots of histories. You could see orange trees and great as if you were there long enough to see flamenco dancing. So it was a perfect introduction to southern Spain. And then we had another peaceful day at sea before we reached the Canary Islands. And we visited two islands here. One was Lanzarote, which almost felt outer worldly with volcanic landscapes and vineyards growing straight out of black lava. And it was amazing to see that. I've never seen that before. It was like depressions in the ground with rocks surrounding it, and then the trees or the vineyards were growing the different vines with the grapes, and so kind of interesting. And every residence or building is white, so kind of a very neat place to visit. A lot of people go there to do long stays in winter. And then we had Tenerife the next day. And this is where you were able to enjoy the beaches, but also it has a pretty dramatic mountain backdrop. It's funny, you could be on the beach, look up and see a snow-capped mountain. Pretty neat. And then we had a long evening in port. So we got to visit, different places that we wanted to. Christmas Day was at sea, and it was a really nice way to enjoy Christmas Day. The ship was beautifully decorated. The meals were festive. Um, it was neat to spend Christmas surrounded by an ocean, right? And then we went into Cape Verde, stopping in Mindelo, which, beautiful, colorful streets, live music everywhere. And that was our first taste of Africa. It was neat, I have to say. And then we came into Dakar, Senegal. And I have to tell you, it's chaos. There's so many people. And interesting fact, and the ship warned us way ahead of time that when you're in port, you can't get internet. It's just something that happens. So if you are one of those people that get nervous without your internet, you just have to deal with it. It's only for one day.
It's only
And
for one
then,
day.
yeah, and then you leave. So here it was huge as far as like visiting Goree Island was that's where it was where the slave traffic started in Dakar. So it was very powerful, emotional, sombering all at the same time, and understanding the history of this part of the world. It is amazing to be here, but it is really crowded, lots of activity. If you really needed the internet, one of the tips that we got from the speakers is do a Google search before you get here and see a nice hotel, which was like the Pullman. Go have a coffee, use your internet if you really needed it. So there's my hot tip. And then we went into the Gambia, and it's called the Gambia. That's two countries in the world that have the as part of the name, and the other is the Bahamas. And we sailed into Banjul. It's smaller, it's quieter, incredibly warm and welcoming, with the markets, the river landscapes, and it was a good way to see Africa again in a different way. Be prepared for poverty. Be prepared for delightful smells. Just be prepared. um, but it's a good way to see this part of the world. And then we came to Abidjan, Ivory Coast. Again, busy streets, lagoon views. It really kind of changes your expectations about West Africa. I'm going to say, as you continue your journey down West Africa, don't expect a huge tourism development. Um, it was pretty neat, I have to say, because what happens when you arrive here is that the customs officials have to come on board, and then you have a face to face where they take a copy of your passport, and then you get a sticker that says that you can go onto the land, into port. But then they are focused on tourism because they really do want to build it. So we had like a police escort
Oh,
on our
really?
crew. Yeah. So we had four motorcycles that flanked our bus and drove us through every single traffic light. If there was a roundabout, they blocked the traffic incoming into the roundabout so we could go. If one, like it was like a 3-lane highway in each direction. So if our 3-lane highway going in one direction was backed up because it was a day where people went back to work after the holiday, so it was busy, they would go into the opposing traffic
No way.
and shut down one lane with our police escort, and then make us go through that way. So there's 2 lanes going in the opposite way, and we were going forward. So, and then so we did not have any traffic problems. Where in Dakar, there was lots of traffic problems.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. How
So
many people on a tour though to do that? Like I would think the process of going face to face with a customs official takes a little time.
It does. We were delayed a good hour from when we were like the tour start was supposed to be, because there was lots of different tours departing, maybe
Yeah.
not going to the same destinations.
Yeah.
So it was time but I think they tried to make it up with the police escort. And I've
Yeah.
never had that happen to me in my life. So I
Right?
was pretty impressed, very
No
impressed.
kidding. So, and if you
Right.
weren't on a tour, an official
Yes.
tour, then you wouldn't be allowed off the ship?
Yes, you could. You still had to go through the process.
Same
And
process.
then,
I get it.
yes, yes. And then there were and there has been shuttles to different places within like the central marketplace in each destination. And then you would just do your own thing. But again, I do recommend that you be cautious. You are in a third world country. You have to understand like their yearly income is quite small.
Hmm.
If you're obviously a tourist, right?
Yes.
So you have to make sure that you're not wearing um, big gobs of great jewelry on you, or dressed in a manner that invites somebody to come and grab your backpack, or
Yeah.
um,
And no police
slice.
escort, obviously.
No, no police escort. Yes, yes. So it's a different way of life. It's a way to see if you want to come back, obviously. But it's you have to understand that perhaps your tour guide may not be able to express himself in English in a manner that you are comfortable with or you understand.
Yeah.
Um, so we were when we were in the Ivory Coast, we had these great big buses, but it just blew hot air. Like, so you were hot. So there, one bus didn't have any air conditioning. Um, we were told when we were entering Africa that at night you have to turn off your lights, like if you have a window in your cabin or a balcony and you have the lights on your balcony on, you have to turn them off. Or say, like, for an example, like I work remotely still, but it's 8 hours ahead, so I work in the evening to capture my clients in the morning and during the day. And
Hmm.
then I get this knock on the call, Miss Odetta, your lights are on.
And so
So I have to
why is
change
that?
for pirates, for people
Safety
that,
reasons.
yeah, yeah. And people that want to attack the ship. And
Really?
also we were told that we would see additional security on board, and we have been. So on the upper deck during the days, if you're at sea or if you come back from a port visit,
Uh-huh.
you're just walking around on the track on the deck. um, you notice these two gentlemen that are, and this ship security, that are walking around looking for ships, looking
Huh.
for
And are they
somebody that's
heavily armed?
no, not that I see. I
Okay.
can't see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I can't see anything. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, it's shopping's fun because usually they have different booths or like canopies with different tables of local shopping, like clothing or jewelry or masks. So
Hmm.
that's always fun. And one of our tour guides yesterday said, if they ask you for $60, go for 10 or go for 20. Okay, I'm okay with that. That works. Works in my budget. But interestingly enough, not all, like if you went kind of lowball, they just let you walk away. They
Ah,
don't need, like, but even though obviously they need money.
yeah.
And another interesting fact is they can take credit cards.
They're pretty high tech
Not
then.
yes.
They learned
They're
their lesson, I think, right? People would
yeah.
offer a credit card and
But you know what? Like, we are in sometimes very depressed areas, and going through the markets is just chaotic. Like, you're going through a market and you're going through the area where there's fish, very live fish offerings, because a lot of people don't have fridges, right? Or
hmm
storage. So they
hmm
have to shop daily. So when you come back to the ship, you might want to just make sure like you disinfect everything, like the bottom of your shoes and stuff like that.
Huh.
Yeah, so
Interesting. Very
it is,
interesting.
yeah. And then so today we were in Ghana, and you do need a visa that you can pre-purchase before you get on board. And again, like we were we went and we did a panoramic view of the twin cities, or the second cities here, like Takoradi. And I apologize if I'm not saying the names correctly. And it was interesting, just seeing everything. You saw the influences of like the different rules, whether it's Dutch or French or British, and then they became their own state. Um, and what their industry is like. We went through a fish market today, and today because it was part of the holidays season, all the fishing boats are in, and you would not understand how they were able to cram them all in. And then you would see like different flags for a lot of like soccer teams, like FC Barcelona.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, who they're interested in. I saw one Canadian flag. I saw, yeah, Italian flags and Spanish flags and stuff like that. And then they took us. They showed us where all the fishing boats were, and then we went into where because the fish has to be fresh, right, and it has to be when it gets uh, harvested, for lack of
Mm.
a better word. They showed you how they make ice so that the fish are put in ice
Uh-huh.
um, to keep them. So it was quite interesting just seeing that. Um, that process and such. So you do what you have to do in where you are, right? This is a hot destination, third world country, but that's their industry, so they have to protect it, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Very interesting, very fascinating. Must be quite a
it
culture
is.
shock though, right?
It is, but you have to be. I think the biggest thing for travelers, you're not in Canada, you're not in the US, you're not traveling in Europe. You have to be respectful of their customs and recognize you're not going to get air conditioning in some
Get
cases.
used to the heat, in other words.
Yeah, wear sunscreen, wear a hat, wear loose clothing. Don't draw attention to yourself, even though we are tourists. You know what? You will see us.
Well, yes, I
So
always used to say, you stick out like a sore thumb. Like as much as you try to not look like a tourist, you may as well just
yes,
have a sign above you that says, "I'm a tourist."
right. And then what you can do is, look at your itinerary before you go and just see which areas take euros, which will accept US. I break down a lot of my big bills like yours, like I have a lot of fives and stuff. And I guess I must be, I forgot this because we don't have $2 bills anymore in Canada.
Mhm.
Somebody gave me change of a US $2 bill, and I'm looking at it and thinking, is that real? Like, is that a legal? I had to Google it to see if it was a legal tender. So I tried to use it again in one of the stores, and this Ghana mama looked at me and goes, "Oh, I'm not going to accept that." And I go, "Yeah, it's real." But
So where are you off to next for your cruise?
so tomorrow I'm in Togo, and then I'm going to San Tome and Principe. And then before the end of the trip, which is in Cape Town, I'm going to Walvis Bay, Namibia.
Wow, and quite an adventure. And you literally are going down the coast of Africa. It sounds like if you started in Barcelona and the Canary
It
Islands, and you're
is.
going to end up
Yeah.
in South Africa.
Yes. Yeah, it is. And I wanted to do it because Africa, if you've ever gone, it will change you. And a lot of people go to South Africa and Kenya and Tanzania. As you know, it's probably their first stop of Africa,
Hmm.
maybe Egypt. But West Africa is different. It's not as touristically developed.
Yeah.
So we have to be aware of that and accept it and be open. Um, I know people were hot, after the bus ride with no air conditioning. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, that's just the reality in some
That's just the
places.
way it is. Exactly.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like an
Yeah.
amazing adventure. I can't wait to hear more. Onanta Forbes is a travel expert. You can follow her adventures on Facebook, Instagram, and X. That's when she has Wi-Fi or internet. At Onanta Forbes. OnantaForbes.com is her website. Truly amazing stuff. So can't wait to hear more.
Yes, yes, I'm very blessed and I'm grateful to start 2026 on this amazing adventure.
This is the Informed Traveler Podcast. I'm Randy Sharman. Just want to remind you of our website, theinformedtraveler.org. That's where you can find our contact page if you have any questions or comments about the podcast. You can also email me too with any questions you might have. My email address is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And you can check out our social media pages too at facebook.com/informedtraveler, Instagram at Informed Traveler, or on X at Informed Traveler. That's where you'll find a number of videos and reels from our adventures throughout the past year and audio clips from our past shows. Plus, you can sign up for our monthly newsletter. It's released at the beginning of every month. Our January issue is available now. Just go to our website, theinformedtraveler.org, click on the newsletter button, and it'll take you right there. Or, better yet, you can subscribe to it and have it arrive in your inbox each month. So let's continue our first show of the new year, chatting with one of our regular guests, Dani Musse from Booking.com, who joins us now to run down their recent travel trends survey for 2026 on what kind of experiences travelers are looking for this year. You can find it on the Booking.com website. Hello, Dani.
Hey there. Long time we don't talk.
I know, it's been a while, and here we are into 2026. And Booking.com came out with their top 10 trends for Canadian travelers in 2026. I always like to ask, how many people did you ask? This is quite a big survey, though. More than 29,000 travelers across 33 countries and territories were asked for this research. So this is a big deal, right?
It's a big deal for us. We want to make sure that we are always customer centric. And for that, we need to understand what the customer wants. This is the 10th year that we are doing the trends. And it's fun to observe the trends, how they move in the shape according to what we have in the world going on. So if we have in the past something that was very connected to family, just a couple years ago, everybody's seeking to reconnect with family and friends and trying resorts and places that would have entertainment for everyone. In 2026, the trend is hyper personalization and a celebration of yourself, your individuality. So it's quite fun to see how the trends are changing and how the travel is moving from just a where and what to a why. Why am I traveling? What am I searching? Why do I need this?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I was going to ask, over time, over the 10 years, do you see sort of this ebb and flow of what people are looking for? And most of the time, how correct is it? Like when people say this is what their travel trend is going to be, does it pan out?
It does, especially because when we are talking to the traveler, we are not specifically searching for a specific hotel or a type of experience, but we are talking about, okay, what's your dream here? Who do you want to be when you travel? And we are talking really about dreams and hopes. So it's a real evolution. And as we see tech growing year over year, in 2026, there is a lot on the trends that is already this embedment of AI and the technologies into the travel experience, and more becoming a companion for the travel, becoming a travel agent, which changes the behavior of the consumer. They become more spontaneous. They want to try road trips because they want to have that experience throughout the journey. And now they have a tool, a companion, an assistant that helps them plan them out without wasting too much time and being precise with their likes. So the change is beautiful to see. And It does come to reality when we see how the year goes.
What I'm hearing is it's easier than ever to go where you want, when you want, and do what you want. Is that a good takeaway?
Exactly. It's to that extent. You can, which comes this hyper personalization on the trip, because it can go from, I'm seeking for a trip where I can sleep in quiet, and you are going to find the places and the locations that are going to give you that. Or you are looking for a glow, you want to go into a place where you want to take care of your skin and your health, your physical health, and the travel assist will generate this whole trip for you, under the budget that you're looking for and with the transportation that you are seeking for. You just embed the experiences, and in 2 clicks, you have the whole route done for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it is about experiences now, right? I'm looking at some of the results here. Travel that celebrates you, so things that personal milestones. Maybe it's a birthday or something like that, or an anniversary, or anything to celebrate. People are looking to do those kind of things now and do it somewhere else other than home.
That's right. And I particularly like that a lot, because as we are receiving so much information, and which makes time go very fast, it's fun for us to create these milestones where we pause a bit, celebrate, and create the memories that actually going to stay with us. It is a good thing that we are taking pride in our little achievements and taking time to celebrate all of those. But one of my favorite ones here would be what we are calling the turbulence test.
I was just going to mention that one.
I love this one. I love this one, because the travelers are saying, hey, you know what? We can just do this real speed moment where we are going to go on a trip together. I don't have a long relationship with you. It can be a friend, a colleague, or a partner, a romantic partner, and we go for a trip. And with that, we will see, do we match or we don't match? And I find that's amazing.
Well, there's the old saying, you don't really know someone until you travel with them. So
Isn't that
it's funny
right?
this comes up where 65% of Canadian travelers are open to taking a trip with a potential partner, colleague, or new friend. So it's interesting that that people are willing to do that to see how they match up with a certain personality, right?
It is amazing, because it's a compression of multiple moments. You have the restaurant, you have decisions, you have how neat the person is in the bedroom, and how do they organize themselves. So I think you get a full X-ray in just a weekend, and off you go.
It would be
Match, no match.
interesting. It'd be interesting to know who initiates that, though, in the
Ooh.
relationship, right?
It starts with that already.
Anything else that stood out for you?
Well, I really, really enjoyed the piece where they are talking about they are calling it passports, which is traveling back to the future, where you recreate photos that you have from the past by visiting this place with that photo, and using technology, you recreate the moment in time in that same
I've
destination.
seen this. I've had friends do this on social media, and it is really interesting. Where there's a photo of them, I don't know, 20 years ago with, and in this particular instance where I saw this was with a friend that they met, and then they've reunited with that person to take that same image 20 years later or whatever. It's really interesting.
It's really interesting, and keep our memories live, and all the things that we once were bringing back to the present moment. I think it's such a good way to reunite people and bring us back to roots and good memories. That one really stood out for me.
I think it would be really interesting. Well, in my case, I have 2 children, and so for example, they were in Disneyland when they were younger. It'd be interesting to go back to that same spot and get an image with Goofy or Mickey Mouse or whatever when they're older.
Isn't it? It's a big celebration. Those little ones that you were just planting the future, and boom, there they are, grown and healthy and ready to take the world. And it's such a good way to to celebrate all the achievements.
Mm-hmm. Well, and another one that comes up that I'm looking at here, Canadian Travelers expressed that they are drawn to road trips that make travel more spontaneous and flexible. So they are, and that's 72%. So a vast majority of them are willing to, just go at the spur of the moment kind of thing and be flexible rather than planning, a year out or something like that.
Which we are seeing very, very close to home already. We are seeing the booking window being extremely short and these decisions happening in the morning of, why don't we go just there to Blue Mountain, couple hours, and we have a nice day there. So we are observing that behavior already starting in 2026, seeming that's going to be even larger. This moment to be spontaneous has a lot to do with the confidence that technology brings. So they know, as long as they have their phone with them or the computer, the internet is available, they can find a place to stay, they can find experiences, they can buy a little tour, they can find a restaurant that matches everyone's dietary restrictions, and anything peculiar that they're looking for, they can find as well. So this empowerment, I guess, that technology gives for the traveler to initiate experiences is really amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good to see that not just Canadian travelers worldwide are open to traveling still in 2026. Nothing's holding them back, it seems.
Nothing is holding them back from having experiences, and they are really looking forward to see how the accommodations are going to start embedding this technology into the experiences in the home, how the homes are becoming smarter and all integrated. So there is this appetite as well from the traveler to see the advancements, almost like feeling a sci-fi movie when they enter a home, which is kind of fun. I went to Montreal not long ago, and the hotel I was staying in, I got a room service, and the hotel sent a little robot that delivered my food. It was like,
that's interesting.
It's kind of a fun moment for me.
Did you have to tip the robot?
And I didn't have any. I just did you score, just like, did you like me? Score, and then you just press a button, like give him a 10, and he even says like, it was the sweetest thing.
It's the top 10 trends for Canadian travelers from Booking.com in 2026. You can find that on the Booking.com website, of course, at Booking.com. And Dani Musse is the area manager for Canada with Booking.com. It's always a pleasure to chat with you, Dani. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And that is our show for this week. If you have comments or questions, we'd love to hear from you. If you have a show idea, send that along as well. My email is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And if you like what you heard, tell a friend. You can check out our website too at theinformedtraveler.org. In the meantime, thanks for listening, travel safe, and be an informed traveler.